Hey, hi, this is Antonino Secchi. I'm an orthodontist from Devon, Pennsylvania, and I'm hosting another episode of the GC Orthodontics Exchange podcast. And I have the pleasure to have here with me Dr. Diane Velicu, practicing orthodontist in Dallas, and with an amazing story. So I'm gonna kind of ask her a lot of questions, and we'll have a great conversation. So Dr. Velicu, Diane, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, thank you. So I would like to start just by asking you a little bit of your background, and note that you grew up in Romania. So how you end up, what did you do there, and how you end up coming to the United States and settling in Dallas? Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I was ever destined to be an orthodontist. I used to be a professional skier before I went to dental school. So from the age of 3.5 till 19, I was part of the Romanian national and Olympic teams. I made it all the way to Junior Olympics. And then it took quite a turn, a little bit of political environment with lack of support that kind of led me to take a step back from my professional career and kind of think about another thing that I would like to do. My mom was a dental assistant, so I grew up seeing a dental practice. And when I was thinking about a career, I was like, well, I think I would like to do this. This sounds enticing to me. So she encouraged me to apply for dental school.
Nice.
I did my dental school in Bucharest, Romania. It was a 6-year program straight out of high school, which means...
That's the city where you were kind of raised?
My hometown is a very small town in the middle of the mountains, in a very not wealthy area of Romania. So I basically grew up in a ski town. And then I moved away. It's like 6-hour drive from my hometown in Bucharest. And I graduated dental school in 2017. And I knew around my 3rd year out of 6 that orthodontics is something that I would like to pursue.
You wanted to do.
And I also was really involved in local dental student association that was also part of the European Dental Student Association.
Okay, yeah.
And I really liked being involved and kind of see what's out there, and to the point where I actually ended up being the vice president of the European Dental Students Association.
Oh, wow, congrats.
And that gave me, thank you, and that gave me a huge exposure to what's out there, outside the bubble of Romania. I got the chance to visit a lot of dental schools within Europe, to speak to a lot of professors, speak to their students, and advocate for them too.
So a lot of traveling, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So this way I was like, well, maybe Romania doesn't have the resources that I want to learn in such a short period of time, or the type of education I was looking for. I think most of my life I was like, I don't want to waste time. I just want to cut to the chase and learn as much as possible in these years, and then focus on the family.
Yeah.
So it was a no-brainer that I had to go leave the country, although a lot of things have changed since.
Yeah.
But having that background and having the opportunity to be able to visit and see what's out there, I realized that maybe United States would be the best choice for me.
Fit for you.
Yes. And good quality education, a lot of hands-on experience that I was looking for with patients that wasn't really the case there. So yeah, it was basically the moment where I made the decision, and then I started working towards it. So from my 4th year of dental school until I graduated, I did everything I could to be competitive, to be accepted in an orthodontic program. So, and I got accepted in UCLA the day I graduated dental school in Romania.
Nice.
So I don't have an American dental degree. I only have an orthodontic degree, but I mean, I'm not practicing dentistry, so that's fine.
Of course. Wow. How was your experience when you, from being all your life in Romania to being in LA studying orthodontics? So, do you have a little time of adjustment? Cultural kind of change, or how was your experience doing that?
That is a great question, and I get it a lot. I think I was with my background of traveling a lot for during my dental studies and also growing up, because I was training, I was basically never at home. I was very independent. I wasn't relying on my parents either. And traveling abroad since such a young age, it kind of forces you to adapt really quickly. So having that background, it was fairly easy for me to kind of merge in and I guess adapt in the US. I didn't really feel the stress, probably because I already was used to it.
From the past. As an athlete, I mean,
of
you know
course,
how to manage that.
There's things that you still learn. I still learn. I think at heart I'm probably always going to be Romanian, a part of me is still there. But, you know, you kind of merge in and you learn more and you kind of get the dynamics. So
yeah, that's great. Wow. And then you moved to Texas, settled in Dallas.
Yes.
That was difficult to adjust in Dallas, or I mean, did you open an office from scratch? How that was kind of for that transition?
So when I decided to move to the States, I didn't have any family here. So as an immigrant, you kind of have to figure out what's the best way for you to be successful to stay.
Yeah.
So not having a family would have been a little bit more difficult. So there's two options. You either get married or, two obvious options, let me put it that way. You either get married or you work for someone that is sponsoring your immigration, which is what I did.
Yeah.
I moved to Dallas for my first job. I worked in a corporate setting, and I was with that company for about 4.5 years-ish. And they sponsored my visa and then later my green card.
Your residency.
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
They supported me with that. And then at some point I always wanted to have my own office. So the story of LVL Orthodontics is that it's not an office that I started from scratch. It was started from scratch by 2 other orthodontists, but along the lines, they just felt like practice ownership is not the right fit for them. Unfortunately, the office was opened right before COVID hit.
Oh, yeah.
And then made it a lot more difficult to make it successful. And then burnout starts, so it was slowly failing over and over again. They were very kind to recognize that and feeling like this is not something that they would like to pursue. However, they did spend about 2 years to try to find the right fit, because it's a beautiful practice.
Nice.
It's brand new. It didn't have a lot of patients, obviously, when I took over, but I've been owning it for a year and a month now.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And it's been growing tremendously. And it's my baby, and yes, you know, you're a practice owner, work day and night.
Yeah.
You wear a lot of hats, and I was very confident in my skills as an orthodontist. I knew almost nothing about being a business owner, so it was a steep learning curve. However, I was really lucky. My husband works in finance, so I had a second eye to look at balance sheets and all those things.
Listen, you will do great. I mean, you had the discipline and the nice character. I mean, and that's a beautiful area. My first experience in the United States, because I'm from Chile originally, was in Dallas.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, back in the days, I mean, I lived in Dallas for a couple of years before even I got into orthodontics in the late 90s.
Oh, wow.
It's a different Dallas than right now.
100%.
I mean, I've been there just recently, and it's a completely different city than it used to be back in the late 90s. But I still know places, and I know where you are, and it's a beautiful area. So you will be absolutely fine. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice city. Now the interesting part is that there's not so many mountains around it. So I don't know if you miss ski a little bit, or.
That's a great question. And we do ski a lot, actually. This past season, I skied for 30 days.
Oh, wow. But you need to travel to...
I do.
Yeah.
So our common passion. My husband is a Texan, and
Okay.
he actually grew up 5 minutes away from my clinic.
Oh, nice.
So that was a very obvious decision on why it was a good choice
Yeah.
for me to take over. We do fly a lot to ski, and he loves skiing, and that's a good bonding moment for us as a couple outside of the office. So in the winter, we kind of prioritize going to ski and trying to be.
Where do you
healthy.
guys really? What do you typically ski? Which part of the country? You go to Canada or everywhere?
We've been to Canada this past season for the first time together, and we absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
We usually go to Colorado.
Yeah.
I say Dallas is really well situated for what we do, because I still have a big part of my friends are in California, but my family and a big chunk of my friends are on the East Coast and Europe. So I think Dallas is really well situated. There's direct flights. It's easy to get in and out.
Everywhere, and it's in the middle, so I mean you can go. That's very nice.
So Colorado usually it's our go-to from the States. My favorite resort to go in the States is Jackson Hole, and
nice.
It's fantastic for what we like to do. But we do travel to Europe quite a bit too, and we usually combine it with visiting family or meeting with friends from Europe that would join us. So that's also nice, because we get the chance to connect with people that we don't really see that often.
That's really cool. I mean, I can imagine. To be an athlete is one thing. To be in the Olympic team is a different ball game. So you were really into sport, no? I mean, that was your life, pretty much, no?
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of training. We had 3 to 4 training sessions a day. Ski camp was like 5 days a week, and then we would go home in the weekend to go and wash our clothes. Yeah. And then kind of resets your parents and go back on Monday.
Wow.
And
did you have the chance to participate in any big competitions?
Oh yeah, I was in the European Cup for Romania, like on this circuit. And then
slalom, giant. Or?
I was doing slalom, giant slalom, and super G.
Oh wow!
So three big events. Wow. I was not a speed person, mostly because I think I do like to speed. However, we didn't really have the infrastructure, and training for downhill is a different game.
Yeah.
So it would have been pretty dangerous for me. And you also need the support. The support was really lacking, and that's what pushed and made the decision easy to walk away from it. It wasn't easy, but I mean, it was the obvious and the right choice. You know, sometimes you just have to make hard decisions in life, and that was one of mine. I was 6 times national champion for Romania.
Oh wow! Congrats!
And thank you. And I was in my prime time. I was winning like a lot of competitions in the Romanian circuit. We do travel, we have European Cup, how they had the World Cup. I never made it to the World Cup. That requires a lot of support that we didn't have, and we do have very talented athletes, and if we would have really had the support, that would have changed everything. But unfortunately, it wasn't the case.
You did the best by far that you could with the resources that you have at that time, so that was amazing.
Yeah.
Now, since you started your practice and you've been only a year and a half, I mean, how it's been so far? You've been trying to grow the practice.
Yeah.
I mean, do you see any challenges? I remember I started my practice from scratch too, and I always say that I grew my practice with kids because they were not taken.
Yeah.
Or adults, because everybody in between was already taken by other people. So I mean, that's how I generated my phase 2 out of the kids. So all my marketing was for kids, and it still is, and for adults.
Yeah.
So how's been your experience in that regard?
The previous owners, they have seen the office kind of an opportunity to create a safe space for adults. So they were heavily marketing towards the adults. However, where the practice is in Highland Park, whoever knows Dallas, it's a very heavy family community.
Yeah.
So
it's a very nice area.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
very nice.
That was an opportunity that was missed, and that's basically what I'm working on to kind of shift the trend from focusing on adults because most of the referrals that we had, they're not too many, but they're really steady, were from general dentists and periodontal specialists.
Yeah.
So that made the practice heavy adult. And now we're kind of shifting where I think I'm a good 50-50. I focused a lot on meeting pediatric dentists, showing them what I'm capable of, and going to schools a little bit, that also helped a lot. And then we had a couple of moms that really liked working with us in the practice, and that kind of turned into a good referral source.
Nice.
It always happens like that. So,
yeah.
So there was a little shift in marketing. There was a shift in systems and on how things were set. I changed the bracket system. When I went in, they were working with something else, and I've been working with GC for the past 5 years. So it was a very obvious thing that I wanted to use whatever I'm more comfortable with and what in my hands I believe it brings me the best finishes. So I just sold everything and then changed the whole practice. So I'm using everything GC, wires, brackets, auxiliaries.
Yeah, that's nice. What bracket from GC you use?
I use GC Experience, and I only use rhodium.
I actually switched probably about a year, all the metal braces experience that I use for years to rhodium. It's a beautiful bracket. I mean, I like it a lot.
I don't have any metal, so they're all rhodium, and then I do clear for patients. But when I show the patient, here there's clear, it's a little bit slightly larger, or here's rhodium, and it's smaller. I think it blends really nicely. My treatment coordinator has rhodium brackets on, so it's like, hey, this is how it looks. So patients many times like, this is really nice and aesthetic, so I'd rather go with rhodium.
Good. So you've been happy with the wires too. What is typically, I mean, that's very technically, but the wire sequence that you use for most of the cases? I
use 4 wires.
14
NiTi, 18, 2020, and 1925 NiTi.
Okay, so 14 and then 18?
Yeah.
And then
2020.
2020?
Yeah. And then a 1925.
The 1925, good.
And then if I need, I do usually at that, if it's a non-extraction, then I do pan repo in 1925. I got to the point where I don't really need to do a lot of repos. And if I need to do any finishing bends, I do a 1925 TMA. I'm a Roth prescription.
Good. So you've been happy, I guess, with the systems and all that?
Yeah,
good. Do you do a lot of since right now expansion is kind of a hot topic, and do you guys do a lot of expansion for kids? I mean, RPs or?
I do when warranted. I know there's a really hot topic right now with expansion. A lot of parents bring in their kids very young. I think that there's definitely been a shift in the last couple of years, and the severity of the malocclusions too. I don't remember when I graduated that kids were coming in so crowded. Now crowding is not necessarily means for expansion, but many of these kids come with constricted maxillas, so we start a little bit younger. I typically see them after age 7. I don't do much younger just because I don't believe they can really tolerate, but again, this is my own personal experience. Maybe someone else has a different experience, and that's totally fine. I also do a lot of adult expansion. I do MARPEs, and I do everything in house. I'm very lucky. I train under Dr. Juan Moon at UCLA, and we all know him, how fantastic of a clinician he is, and I was very fortunate to learn hands-on from him. So we did a lot of TADs, and I still use a lot of TADs as part of my armamentarium.
Just for the MARPEs, or in general, just that for movement to? I
do everything. So I do the stylization, I do a lot of gummy smile treatment. I'm doing a lot of orthodontic cases too. That kind of speaking of marketing and how you're
Yeah.
setting yourself different from other practitioners, I think that was basically something that I was really tapping in, like, hey, I'm doing all these things in-house. I don't need to send you to a surgeon unless like you really want to be sedated. I don't do sedation.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I keep everything in-house. And for patients in that area, they love the convenience. If there's one-stop shop that can do everything, and I don't need to refer someone out for a TAD or a MARPE, everyone's happy, and I'm happy because I don't have to rely on anyone else.
That's great. That's really good. So, what do you think are some of the challenges that you have in the last couple of years that you kind of took over the practice and kind of that you're running it right now? And I mean, it can be everything. It can be the clinical part, the business aspect, or the human resources, the staff, and all that. You know how that is. Yeah.
I know staff is usually the biggest challenge and dealing with the human side of the story with patients and staff. I think I was very, very blessed. I bought the office with an office manager, and she couldn't commit long. Like, she was working part-time because the office was only open a few days a month, and now we're open 3 days a week. She couldn't commit of being there all the time. I wanted someone to be there 5 days a week, even if I'm not there.
Yep.
She couldn't, so she helped with the transition. She's still with me, however, she's on a part-time basis. But I remember when I started, I was the one doing front and back. Like, she was doing the front and I was passing the patient back. I was doing adjustments. I was running a column, so I didn't really need an assistant. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I was doing.
You were doing everything.
Sterile. Everything.
You were doing the treatment coordination. I mean, you were explaining the treatment to the patients and everything.
I was explaining everything, and she was doing the financials, and then we were playing tag team. Now we are a team of 5. A year later. So I think. I got very, very lucky with the team members that joined. I think we're really tight, and I'm very thankful every day for this, because I know it's not everyone's experience, and that might not even be my experience when we grow bigger. You know? So I involved my staff in the hiring process when we added another team member, because it's more important for them to get together. We usually know doctors in the back, and they need, when they're working without you, they need to work as a team. So I thought it's really important to have their feedback as well when I was hiring a new team member. Now, from the patient perspective, I think my patients, yes, they want slower paced and like being informed with their treatment, which I really like. I do spend considerable time in the consult to make sure that they understand everything from the beginning until the end and have all the questions answered. This makes the treatment a lot smoother, and it also cancels any, angry patients or like leaving them in the dark. And that was a very important feedback that I got from patients. Hey, whenever I come here, you're always really friendly. I feel like I'm being heard. I don't feel like I'm visiting a doctor's office. So that was really nice. I think the biggest,
like a family kind of.
Now, to answer your question with the challenges, I think the biggest challenge was seeing patients that were treated in different offices, and mostly general dental offices. Patients calling, not necessarily from my referral sources. My referral sources, thankfully, they were not really doing orthodontic treatment, so they were already referring. But coming from general dentists, cases that were trapped, or they needed extractions, or just the biomechanics were not correct, and patients were in treatment for 2 years, and then they come and you tell them, hey, I need another 1.5 to 2 years to finish your case. And dealing with frustrated patients for something that you didn't create, that kind of creates a friction. I think that might have been one of the bigger challenges, although we usually inform the patients before the consult, hey, look, like, it's going to be a brand new fee. I think usually they get emotional when we're talking about, hey, you need to pay again.
Yeah.
And then the emotions of having to get a complete new treatment plan and then go through it.
Yeah, that is never easy. Yeah. Wow, but so what's how you see in your practice right now the aligners compared to the braces? You guys are 50-50 or 70-30, or how do you see that playing even in the couple of years that you've been there?
I think I'm a 60-40, 60 aligner, 40 braces.
Okay.
Although I do give the patients the option to choose. If I don't, it's usually a collaborative treatment plan. If I think this is a predictable case where we could achieve this with aligners, I'll tell them with exactly how much time it takes and what does it entail. If I believe it is not a good liner case, I don't do it.
Them,
And I don't compromise on that, because I know at the end of the day I'm going to be the one who's losing.
Yeah, who's going to be suffering.
So in cases where I know it's not a good idea and they're really adamant in aligners, I do a hybrid approach where, hey, I absolutely need you to have braces on these teeth to be able to align them, and then we can transition in aligners. That's the happy medium that the best they can get to get away from braces. But I mean, we're clinicians. We know that clear aligners have their limitations. So I know there's so much marketing out there that they're identical, they're the same, and it's not from a biomechanics standpoint.
Yeah.
So I think being honest and letting them know, and hey, this is what we can do, and this is how much time it's going to take. Or that's great. I mean, at the end, this is what you want. You want the best for the patients. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I learned I know I'm a younger orthodontist, but I learned from, I think residency, to say no to patients and not comply to, like, not allow the patient to dictate the treatment, because at the end of the day they want your professional opinion.
Absolutely.
And if you're explaining everything, they will, at the end of the day, they will understand. And at the end of the day, maybe we're just not a good fit for each other, right? Maybe there's someone else that can provide.
That happened too. Absolutely. It's good to learn how to say no sometimes. Absolutely. And the earlier you learn that, the better, so you don't get burned.
Yeah.
So we are really right now. I see a big movement about people paying more attention to living the life, instead of just working every day, all day. So how you see you balancing kind of life and work? You work 3 days a week, no?
Yeah.
Do you think that that's how you want to do it going forward? Maybe get busier those 3 days, but just 3 days, or you have another vision for your office coming forward?
Yeah, I think my sweet spot would be maybe 3.5 days.
Mm-hmm.
We are recently married, so we are thinking about adding new members to the
Of
family.
course. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say that orthodontics is not gonna be my priority. However, I would definitely want to spend time with my kids
with
too.
your family, absolutely.
So when we are going to outgrow the space, thankfully we have plenty of team members that we can add, plenty of space that we can utilize, so I don't feel like we need to open more days. And at the point where if we're maxing out, then we're going to look at efficiencies.
Exactly, yeah.
So I know with the brackets that we use, you don't need to see the patient every 6 weeks. I choose to do it because it's still early on, just to build this relationship with the patients. But in my other office where I was working before, I got to a point where I was seeing them even like 10 to 12 weeks, because the wires are still working. They're excellent wires, so you don't need to really see them. It's a choice. So at that point, when we're maxing out, then we're going to start changing a couple of things, but I'm not really foreseeing adding more days.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that is very important what you said. I mean, that work balance, I think today, especially for young orthodontists, is with new practices, is very important to take into consideration. So, well, Diane, thank you very much I mean, for having the time to come here to tell your amazing story. I know it's gonna be successful. I wish you the best luck in your office, in your family,
Thank you.
and I'm pretty sure you will be fantastic. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Appreciate the invite.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Diane.